Alrighty, hey everybody on YouTube. So if you clicked on this video, odds are that you want to know what it is like to have the coronavirus. I will get into all that, but at first I just kind of want to say a little caveat here before I get started talking about it. Hello, my name's Rebecca. Originally, I'm an artist on YouTube. I don't really make random videos like this very often. I will show a little snippet of my art somewhere on this video, but I really wanted to just get on here. I'm probably going to post this on my second channel. This probably isn't going to go up on my main channel, so if you're interested in my main channel, I'll leave it in the description down below. This is probably going to go up on my little art, fun, random channel. So yeah, I wanted to get that out of the way before I start discussing the coronavirus. I'm still kind of sick, actually. I'm only on day 10 of having it. So, I guess I should start at the beginning, because I really honestly, me and my husband both got the coronavirus, and I don't really know where we got it from. I went on a work trip for 3 to 4 weeks, or somewhere around there. I know it's kind of bad that I don't know exactly, but I went on a work trip, and the state that we went to, the mask mandate the mask mandate is no longer required, so people don't have to wear masks anywhere. The corona's pretty much done there, supposedly. I don't know whether I agree with it or not. I mean, apparently, me and my husband both got the corona after being in their state for a very short time, so I mean, I guess that is what it is. But so my husband got sick for, well, I'll kind of give you a little idea of where we went. So we stayed at a hotel, so we could have contracted it from the hotel. We went out to eat. We did wear a mask when we went out. The place that I worked didn't require masks, and nobody wore a mask. And everyone was very close together. And a lot of the restaurants, they weren't social distancing people, so I guess when you're eating food, you take your mask off, so it's very, very likely that we got something there also. We have no idea where we got it from. My husband got sick first. He got sick, he kind of slowly, gradually started getting sick. He ran a temperature of 102. He ran a temperature for about 3 days, and we didn't know he had the coronavirus at the time. So, we were just kind of hanging out in the hotel room and, just seeing if it would pass and if it would go away. And the funny thing about the coronavirus is once you actually get over your fever is when, in my opinion, the worst of it starts, because that's when the cough starts, or that's when the cough started for me and my husband. And the breathing issues and stuff kind of started after about day 3, when when our fevers broke, is when it kind of got harder to breathe. And the exhaustion is crazy. But yeah, he ran a fever for about 3 days. After that, he developed a cough, and he was very, very, very tired. And we both still have coughs, and it's day 10. So yeah, so so he went to work after he started feeling better, not knowing that he had the coronavirus. But he ended up leaving work. Me and him decided to go back because there was a series of other events that just was okay, we're done with this work trip, we need to go home. So we decided that we were done with the work trip. That was kind of enough. We were gonna drive home, and we left home Wednesday. My husband started feeling a lot better. He actually, I think his body fought it off and dealt with it more than me, I think. But I started, when we finally drove home, I started running a fever of about 99, and I was like, once I realized I was running the fever, I was like, oh crap, like this isn't good. I have whatever you have. So the first day of running a fever, it eventually went up to like 100, 101. But it wasn't really that bad. I was just so freaking tired. Like I had no energy. I didn't have any breathing issues or anything yet. I was just like exhausted. And for the most part, it kind of felt like the flu, only different. Like, I can't explain it, but it felt really weird. Because your symptoms are pretty much the same as the flu. You're achy, you're tired, you're like lethargic and stuff, but like it felt weird. Oh, and I also forgot, like it started for me as a massive headache because sleeping Tuesday night, I couldn't fall asleep at all because my neck hurt so bad and then my head hurt. Like right above here was like it just hurt so bad. I don't think my husband, I don't remember him complaining about a headache first, although he did say he had a headache. I get like winded talking too, it's weird. But that's how it started for me. And I didn't really think that much of it. I wasn't like super worried. But flu season is technically over, and I don't get like this is the first time I've been sick in like 10 years. So I had a feeling it wasn't the flu, and I had a feeling it was probably the coronavirus because that's like the only thing I could think of that would make sense. So Thursday, I still didn't feel great. I was running a fever of about a 100. That's when me and Matt decided to get tested. They told us to quarantine for 10 days, and we're still technically in quarantine. But, so I felt pretty good Thursday. I was really tired and running a fever, but I noticed like as the day progressed, Thursday is when things got a lot worse. Like my eyeballs were so tired, like, and they hurt so freaking bad. They were I couldn't even keep my eyes open. Like my face hurt. Like I just started getting really, really achy. And then that's probably when the extreme like exhaustion started happening. Like I was just so tired. Like I'd get up to go to the bathroom and then I'd have to sleep for like 5 hours. Like I pretty much continuously slept for like the next 2 days. So Friday I slept pretty much all day long. Saturday and Sunday I pretty much slept continuously. Like it was pretty much unbearable to be awake. And it still kind of felt like the flu at that stage. It wasn't about till till Monday when my fever finally broke. I started feeling a little bit better, a little bit. But here's the weird thing about, I think for me what the biggest difference was, when you have the flu and your fever breaks, you feel better and you get your energy back and you just feel, like you're done, you're over it. But with this virus, it didn't feel that way. Like you actually get worse when your fever breaks, in my opinion. That was 100% this is just what happened to me. I'm sure it happens to other people, or other people's symptoms are different. This is just my personal experience. So, actually Monday is when we actually got our test back too, and it said you're both coronavirus, or, you're positive for the coronavirus. So they said we were positive for the coronavirus, and that's when we kind of knew for sure. Although we kind of knew, just because, it was kind of obvious, like, what else would we have? But it was kind of, like, we knew for sure. And, so that was when I was still incredibly tired. Like, still have this ridiculous exhaustion, and it is, like nothing I've ever experienced before is the exhaustion. But the exhaustion got worse, actually, when my fever broke, and then that's when I started getting the sinus stuff and the cough. So the cough was really bad. My head started pounding. I started getting like a lot of pressure in my head and my eyeballs. I felt heat radiating from my eyeballs. Like, it was crazy. Um, so after that, like, I was still really tired. Probably I had the same symptoms from about Monday to about Thursday. It was pretty much the same thing for me. Every day has gotten steadily a little bit better. Like, today is the first day where I actually feel like I'm getting back on track. Like, I have energy. Like, I actually feel like I can go out and, like, go, like, not out, but, like, do things around the house and stuff. It's like the first day where I didn't have to sleep and lay around, and it is getting better. But I think it was, these days have all run together. It's so weird because I've been sleeping and sick and just out of it for like days. But I think it was around Wednesday when, in my opinion, it was probably the worst cough-wise. And I had this thing called post-nasal drip. I've never experienced it before in my life, but it was so scary. Because throughout having the coronavirus, I did the one thing you're not supposed to do, which I googled symptoms, and this is kind of why I'm making this video too. I googled symptoms and I started googling or looking up on YouTube like not testimonies, but like what it was like for people to go through the coronavirus, so I knew if like there's like a warning sign or something that was bad, like if I was getting ready to like have chest pressure. Like, I was so paranoid. I was like, I just wanted to know how this virus ran its course, and if anything like crazy happens and I needed to go to the ER, like I would kind of get a heads up for what I need to look for. And thank goodness it wasn't that bad, but it was still pretty bad. Like, I think if it was any worse, I might have considered going to the ER. Mostly because of the fear around the coronavirus. That was probably a huge factor of what made it worse. But anyways, Wednesday night, I had postnasal drip so bad that I literally felt like I was choking and I couldn't breathe, which I was reading more about it. My husband was reading stuff about it, and he said he thought I was fine because I guess it's very common to feel like you're choking when you have postnasal drip, but I was like, what if my lungs start to fill up with like fluid and like I can't breathe and then I'm gonna die? And like, it was like the fear around this virus is real, and I think like every hour I would breathe a lot just to feel how my lungs felt. My lungs felt pretty good the whole time I had it. But yeah, I think that was another thing around it, is the fear, just what this virus can do to some people. And thank God it didn't get to that point. Like, the worst I had was some pretty gnarly postnasal drip that was absolutely miserable. Exhaustion and a fever, and a cough, which the cough is mostly gone now, but it was really bad. I remember when I had the postnasal drip, like, I was coughing and like I literally, like, I got up out of bed and I had to immediately like sit on the floor because I could not get all this crap out of my throat. And that was actually probably one of the hardest parts, is you're trying to cough and you're so tired you can't cough and you can't clear your airways and you feel like you're drowning and like you're nasty stuff. Like, my husband, like, this weird part is my husband, he never got the congestion like I did, he never got the sinus pressure, but he lost his taste and smell, and I can smell stuff still through my stuffy nose, and I never lost my taste. Things taste a little different to me, but I still taste, which I thought was very interesting. Like, it affected us very similarly, but like, it wasn't the exact same. I think that people's bodies definitely work different, ways. But yeah, for the most part, I feel a lot better, and I definitely feel like recovery is, just days away. I think I'll be back to 100%, but with all that being said, I kind of wanted to make this video in case anyone else was curious. If you do test positive for the corona, you're probably gonna be okay. it does suck, but you could definitely, getting over it is, it's possible. Um, I also wanted to say I do kind of, I'm like a healthy person. Like I do take like a multivitamin and stuff. When I got the corona, I added zinc. That's the only vitamin. I was trying to find vitamin D, but I didn't have any. And I didn't want to go out and get any. I heard vitamin D is really good for this virus, but I have a bunch of supplements, but I only normally take B12 and a multivitamin. But I did add zinc, and then I drank a lot of those emergencies. I drank tons of water. I drank tons of water. I pretty much slept as much as I possibly could. I made sure to eat also throughout the coronavirus. I did lose my appetite, and I'm slowly starting to eat more because I noticed I feel like my blood sugar got kind of screwed up because I wasn't eating, and that's kind of why I had to like make sure I ate because I would get really, really shaky. And I don't think a lot of that was due to the coronavirus. I think it was because I wasn't eating. I stopped drinking coffee, although I had my first coffee today. Um, that's pretty much all I really did. I didn't get any kind of medication for it. I didn't get, I haven't had a follow-up. All I did was add zinc. I'm definitely going to pick up some vitamin D. Oh, I did take Tylenol. When my fever started getting on the high, like, started inching toward 102, I took Tylenol. And then I took it a few times at night for the congestion, and that actually worked pretty good for nasal congestion and like fever control. Although I didn't take anything, I took that maybe like 3 times to break the fever when it started getting too high. But I didn't break my fever unless I felt like it was getting too high. Because, like in my opinion, that your body is using the fever to fight off whatever your body has, your illness. So I definitely think it's good to like keep the fever, so you get over it faster. I mean, that's just kind of what I've always, that's what I grew up believing. I've had a few nurses tell me that it's good to keep the fever, don't break your fever. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I did to like, combat it. Other than that, I'm in my 30s. I have no medical conditions that I'm aware of. I'm a very healthy person. I go to the gym. I eat as healthy as I can. You know, uh, I'm a relatively healthy person. Like, and this is how it affected me. I do know a few people that have had the coronavirus, and it's like varied. Some people it barely made sick. They didn't even know they had it. They thought they just had a cold. And then some people, it was like me and my husband where they thought they were like literally dying. It was a little bit more severe, more on the flu symptoms type side as opposed to just feeling like you have a cold. Yeah. So, um, so yeah, I think symptoms definitely vary for each person. Even though I did have it pretty severely, and my husband also, I don't think we had it as bad as a few people. I know one person has died from this. Yeah, like I think it varies a lot. But I definitely feel like it was a little more severe for me because I was like really sick and I am very, very tired. But thank God I didn't have any chest pressure. My lungs were good throughout the whole thing. Same for my husband, his lungs were good. I feel like if I started to feel it in my chest, I probably would have gone to the ER, because I was just so tired and I don't know if I could like physically like fight it off if it went into my lungs. So I feel like I'm very, very, very lucky for that. I didn't have any chest pressure. The main issues I had is sinuses and a cough and just exhaustion. The exhaustion I keep bringing up again, because that was probably the hardest part, and it's still kind of like hard to deal with because you're so tired. But yeah, it definitely, you know, makes me think that people need to take this virus seriously still, even though we have the vaccine. I am considering getting the vaccine now that I've had the coronavirus, but they've warned me not to get it right away. I'm probably going to wait a few months because after you have the coronavirus, they said it's not good to get the vaccine right after. I think they said like 90 days was like the minimum you should wait. But we will see. I don't know. I'm not anti-vax by any means, but for some reason this vaccine makes me really nervous, and I don't know why. I think a lot of it is the hype and the fear and the hysteria, and it's just, I'm not gonna lie, that made having this virus a lot harder, is the fear and the hysteria behind it. But that being said, it is very, very, very uncomfortable and painful and hard to get through, and I feel like this, I could 100% see how somebody could die from this. I'm not even joking. So with all that being said, you know, if you've had the virus, or you know someone that's had the virus, or virus has impacted you, you know, very negatively, whether, you know, whatever it may be, you know, my prayers go out to you. It definitely sucks, and it's definitely hard for a lot of people, and, you know, keep other people, like, in your mind, people, especially, like, people in other countries that aren't as equipped to deal with it as we are here in the US, like India, for example. Pray for India, and just, you know, keep all these people in your prayers, because this virus is no freaking joke, and, you know, my heart goes out to all of you that's, you know, dealt with this. So, yeah, I think after saying all of that, you know, if you feel comfortable, get vaccinated, wear your mask, social distance, keep doing the same shit, because I'm not gonna lie, I thought we were pretty much over all of this, and I thought it was kind of like behind us and everything, and then, you know, a state that's supposed to be, you know, getting better and getting rid of the mask mandates, you know, we go there and we get it like a couple weeks, you know. So, yeah, stay safe, guys. I'm not a doctor or anything. I'm a hippie. I believe in a lot of naturopathic stuff. So, you know, that's kind of what I did to get over it. So, yeah, so don't take anything I said as medical advice. It's just what I did. So, yeah, I think that's all I have to say to you guys today. I hope you all are doing well, and I will see you in my next video. And, for anybody who doesn't know me, I'll post my art in this video somewhere, if you're interested in checking out my art YouTube channel. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay safe. Bye.